Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Monday, July 6th, 2015. Well, the announcements on Friday, let's take a peek, or actually it was Thursday. It was Friday, the market was pretty much closed. Employment situation came in higher, outside the range, a little bit higher than expected. Jobless claims, or employment situation, is the unemployment report. Unemployment dropped again, but the labor force participation rate, which is beginning to disturb people more, which makes sense, is saying that the percentage of people that are, say, like over 16 and under 65, I guess you might say, that are able to work dropped down to kind of an uncomfortable number, which they have here, participation rate down to 62.6, so that's 0.3 since the prior one of a percentage, and that's a big number here with 330 million people in the country. I don't know how many are actually eligible or count in this percentage, but I would imagine probably, like 250 million or something like that, maybe, roughly. But anyway, that was the disturbing part about that particular report. And then jobless claims came in a little bit higher than expected. Factory orders came in a little shorter than expected. So just a continuation economically of the blahs here in the U.S., and I would guess probably pretty much around the world. So today the only thing is the ISM non-manufacturing index, and then relatively light for the rest of the week. Just a lot of talking heads here speaking. All these are Fed directors, and here is Auntie Yellen, who is the chairman of the non-governmental Federal Reserve. At least they're all just crooks, though, just like the politicians. So that's something that we have to live with. But anyway, let's see what's going on across the world. Why Greece's no vote is really no vote at all. Well, things are tough over there. I guess my understanding is that bailout is they're mortgaging their future, basically, and these people are just saying, and my heart goes out to them. I don't know what the right answer is, but the people of Greece are saying, no, enough is enough. We don't like sending all our money. It's like in the U.S., here in the U.S., from a tax perspective, states and counties pretty much collect all the tax, and they turn a lot over to the federal government behind our backs. I mean, we don't really know about it. For instance, my small little village here, Baltimore, Ohio, the tax that they collect, like in property taxes and sewer and water taxes or whatever else they might be collecting, goes to the state, and then the state turns around and supposedly divvies things out evenly across the board. Well, that's not the way that it happens. So John Kasich here, who I believe is going to be running for president probably, claims that he balanced the budget in Ohio by cutting costs, I guess you might say. Well, really what he did was he just did not, instead of in Baltimore where they would get almost 60% of the tax revenue attributed to them. They don't really collect it per se, but the people of Baltimore, the tax that they paid across the board on everything would go to the state, and the state would allocate it back. They used to get 60% of what they collected back. Now it's down to like 30%. And that's what John Kasich did in Ohio to balance the budget. But I certainly do digress. Let's take a look over in Asia. We're looking at kind of mixed, but very strong in the bearish direction here, at least in these top three. Shanghai has been a little weird lately and countered practically everything. Now, Europe is very strongly bearish. So we have that going on. Let's take a look here in the U.S. Enough about taxes. Looks like we're going to gap down at the open, but that may or may not hold true. Gold is at 1163, still severely depressed. I have my GLD covered call out here that I'm trying to buy back for 3 cents. It's not quite ready yet. I think it was at 4 cents on Thursday. So I'm just trying to get save that extra penny, which is really only amounts to $1. It's not a big deal. So here's gold sitting here unchanged, basically. Oil's at 54.44. Wow, that's a big hit on oil. That's a little disturbing. And the dollar's at 96.5 and $1.10.5 against the euro. Pretty much unchanged over the last 2-3 weeks. Hasn't moved very much. It's wiggled around within a range, and we could take a look at that on the dollar chart, on the DX chart. Let's see here. Yeah, we've been drifting slightly upwards, but pretty much not much movement over this period, and we're definitely within a range here between 93 and 97. So no big movements there either, just like many other items. Okay, speaking of items, we're working on an explanation here of why this is happening. Supposedly they tell me, and we're not done with our conversation yet, they tell me that you can trade options off hours on SPX. So my question always has been, so how come I'm not seeing, when I go to the Analyze tab, say for instance on SPX, let's go to it here, why I'm not seeing prices change on the option chains. So for instance here on July, I'm not really seeing any prices change here. They all pretty much aren't moving. Oh, there we go. Now we got some. Now we're getting some action. Okay, there. So they trade off hours. So in theory, you can trade SPX off hours. In theory. I don't know if everybody's is able to do that, if they're approved to do that or what, but I'm going to find out for you guys and I'll let you know. Because there are some times in the morning, like this morning, if we're going to get this big drop here, 10 points on SPX basically, I'm going to want to possibly get out of my bear calls. So I might want to do that. Okay, so let's move on here. What am I going to do next? What did we do last Friday? Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. Last Friday, that would be 7/2. That's right, 7/2. I exited Tesla, made 92 cents on it. The spreadsheet's up there. 7/2 on Thursday. I also exited this SPX bear call, which was the July one. Made $210 on that one. And I think that's pretty much it for exits. And then entry, I opened a July 5, condorized it, 10 delta, at the 2165 level. So if we were to go look at the big chart, which we will in a moment, I was looking to get out of Priceline. I was looking to sell it for $525, which would have made me $190, but the order did not execute and actually ended up, as I see here, expired. So I was looking to get $525 for it. It wouldn't go. It certainly was within its range, but it just wouldn't. It wouldn't move. Nobody picked it up. So we'll probably try again today. Maybe you might be able to make a little bit more on it. So that's where we are. That's where we were from last Friday, and this is the way the week closed out. So a nice big opening here for July at 612, and we're basically even for the year right now. And we will continue with this relaxed SPX trading. All these big losers here were bad guesses for directional trades, but pretty much going non-directional on SPX has been pretty healthy for us. Okay, so let's go take a look at the big chart. And the big chart I have down to 15-minute here because I was looking for prices here, and I wasn't seeing any prices off hours. So we'll go to our weekly chart. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit here. So everything in green here was closed for a profit. Anything in red was a loser, but this one is actually a roll. So it ended up being a winner. And anything in magenta is still open. So here's the July 5 condorization that we have here. So we have an iron condor here. Got in really low last week at one of the lows here, and we can see here on the daily that squishes down, right down here. We got in on this candle, so we got a nice price for our 10 delta down here. So that's what we're looking at. Maybe it closes July 4th today. I don't know, possibly. This July 2 is still hanging out here, which is this Friday's expiration. I'm not sure how that one's going to work out. This July 1 butterfly was a little bit of a success. It made some money. So that's what it looks like on the daily, and the weekly is looking like this. So we're doing pretty good. A little worried about this week here with this July. Well, I don't know. I think we're going to be okay with this July 2. I think we're going to be fine with it. This July 4th, though, might be a little shaky. So it may end up being a loser. But everything else up here definitely is going well. And I'll pile on. It's time now to look for 30 days out. So now we're looking for August. Maybe August 1 expiration. And we'll pile on up here if... we haven't even hit a down arrow yet. Wow. We don't have a down arrow yet on PPS. I don't see one unless it's hiding behind here. I got a feeling it's not. Maybe on a daily we have a down arrow. Yes, we do. But on the weekly, no down arrow. That's a little weird. Okay, I'm wasting a lot of time here. We can quick run through our regular A+ list here. So we start out with Apple. A little word about Apple. Grandson is looking to get a new iPod. We were doing some looking around. We went to Best Buy yesterday and looked at them and talked to the people there. And the rumor is that there's going to be an iPod 6 coming out. Current latest thing is a 5th generation iPod. And Best Buy has a sale on them, anticipating that there's an iPod 6 coming out. There's rumors about it, but nothing firm. And Tim Cook has actually said iPods are dead. So I don't know. You know, maybe they're just not going to make them anymore. Maybe that's why they're on sale. I don't know. I have no idea. But Craigslist definitely has some very good deals. People are selling iPods for as much as $100 or $150 off for the 5th generation, and some of them they say are new, so still in the package type things. I don't know how that happens, but I think people, well, you can't really trust what people say. Same thing with whatever I say. Verify. Trust and but verify, or whatever. Just don't simply go on what I say. All right, so Apple's still drifting down. All right, and then there's Amazon, which I'm still a little upset with. But anyway, Amazon is kind of drifting sideways. It's going to be, I think this is going to be a rough week for the market. It's definitely going to be, I think, a bearish week. BIDU is definitely on a tear down, and where it stops, nobody knows. Might want to do a calendar down here, maybe at 190. Let's remove this and let's put a new one in. We'll be generous and give it, wow, so if I was to do July, 190 is not good enough, just based on this channel. I'll make a note of it though. All right, or it could do just basically simply a bear call. Could do that. Chipotle. I did have something on it. Nothing right now. It's a little choppy right now. Not much direction there at all. Costco. Do have a calendar on Costco, and it's right here. So we might get some movement into the sweet spot there on Costco. We'll just peek at the Dow and see what's going on there. And I think we're going to have a nice leg down here on DJX, which if I was going to do anything, I would do it on DIA. But I probably just wouldn't do anything. I'd just stick with the SPX and spiders. I really am not interested in any other index because I'm focused on the S&P 500 almost exclusively. Alright, so here's my covered call, or my call that I'm trying to unload here for 3 cents. It's calculating that the price of gold has to get down here to this 110.74 level approximately. I don't think it needs to. Just needs a little bit more time. And Google's up next. Not touching Google. They have earnings coming up. Or no, that's not earnings, is it? Google's... Yeah, they usually have earnings the Thursday before expiration, so that could be their earnings. Could be. Don't know. There's a question mark there. Something wonderful is going to happen. Okay, LinkedIn. Gap down here. Not sure what's going on there. Not touching that one. Take a look at NDX. Would not... well, I suppose I could just do cash index trading, but I'm not interested in doing anything on NDX or the Qs right now either. We're just mostly just looking at it to see what it looks like, I guess. Netflix has that split earnings and earnings coming up here. We won't pay much attention to that just because of that, because they're going to be... I could just take them off right now. I am removing Netflix from A+ list. I could do that right now, but I think I'll wait. We're already behind. Priceline here is a sweet spot. I'm going to continue today to try to get out of that. And we'll just take a peek at the Russell here, see what's going on there. See if it's giving us the same signs as everything else. Oh yeah, Russell is looking a little troubled here. Most definitely. We already beat SPX to death, and we'll just jump right down here to Tesla, where we had a bull put on it, and it was good. We got out of it for a nice, tidy little profit. I don't know if I actually pointed that out or not. Tesla right here, yeah, 92 bucks we made off of that one. That was a good one. We like that. So we could turn that green. And we'll leave it up there just for a little while. There we go. That was a 20 delta bull put. It worked out fine. Got out while the getting was good. And that's it for today. Tesla was our last one. About the 21-minute mark, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.